Okay, so we are going to go to the other room in a minute or so and actually do a demonstration on radius injections in the temples. But I want to also talk a little bit about the neurotoxin. So I think we actually did a demo of that not too long ago. Was at our event, I guess. So the product that the two products I'm talking about today are Xeomin and Radius. We're doing Radius today on Mary's temples, and I wanted to also talk about Xeomin, which is just an interesting side segue, I guess, into this product. You've heard of Botox. You may have heard of Dysport and Xeomin, and there's two other neurotoxins now available as well. But I'm just these three are the ones I pretty much have in the office right now. The Xeomin is interesting because it's the smallest molecule that can do the job. Okay, so Botox is the biggest molecule. Dysport is the intermediate size, and Xeomin is the smallest. And how does that matter? So the big molecule is albumin on Botox. There's also albumin in Dysport. But this is a little model that the company gave me when I begged them for it because I loved it. So, molecules are very small. This is a model. The actual molecule is, you can't see. But it's made up of a giant part. This is Botox, okay? This whole thing would be how much Botox. That whole top part is not on Dysport or Xeomin. So if you look at the yellow and blue, that would be Dysport. But if you take all that off, that's Xeomin. So Xeomin is tiny compared to Dysport or Botox. So what does that mean? So this little tiny molecule here has much less chance of developing an antibody because this has a lot more protein that could potentially cause some kind of a reaction or make your Botox not last as long because now you develop some antibodies. So it's a much smaller area that's going to develop antibodies. Plus, the dilutions and the way we put it in, they're slightly different for every one of these products. And I think when I first started using Xeomin, I didn't love it so much because I think it wasn't concentrated enough. And now I do a little more better concentration, and now it works pretty much just like the other ones. In fact, I'm using it myself all the time now. So I think it's a good product. And there'll be more. There were more neurotoxins I think coming down the pike because everyone is trying to get on the Botox thing. Botox has the kind of the name everyone knows, but it is also the largest molecule. And I think that there are patients of mine that seem to have less responsiveness to Botox over time, and we will switch them to a different product to try to see if it will have a better response or last longer.
Yeah, I like Xeomin a lot. I like it better than Botox, I think.
Right. Yeah, I don't like Botox in the crow's feet anyway. I don't think it works as well, at least when I do it on people. So one or two more things before we do our little demo. So I want to talk about, Valentine's Day was just yesterday, and we do have a Valentine's special on our M-Sculpt, and that's till the end of the month. And that is, if two people, it doesn't have to be, opposite sex people, it can be two girls, two guys. If you come in at the same time, one person, or there will be a 50% off of one of the people's, or you can divide it up obviously and do share the savings if you do them together. But it's a really good deal. M-Sculpt is a 4 session once a week, takes a half an hour. So if you're able to make that work for your schedule, it's a very good savings right now. And as you know, M-Sculpt is good for the abdomen, the rear end, the extremities, the arms, the legs. I'm personally going to be doing it soon on my legs because I need to get my legs in better shape and my entire body after that cruise I took. And I want to mention upcoming seminars. So today we're doing the facial shaping, Radius and Xeomin. We have mini facelift, and that will be next week, and also talking about eyelid surgery. And then on March 1st, we're talking about one of our new greatest and favorite things, Keravive.
Facial Keravive. Yeah.
So Mary does that. That is a treatment for hair loss. We have a product that's oral called Viviscal, which we've all been enjoying. Our patients seem to like it. I know I've been using it, and a lot of my friends are using it, and a lot of my patients are using it. And I have to say, most of them are thinking it's really helping them. So on top of that, the hydrofacial machine, the company that does hydrofacial is working with other companies, and one of them is a hair growth product, and we've been having really good success with that.
Yeah, we've been having really good success with it. Patients are really happy.
So you get just like 3 times you do it.
Yeah.
And then once a month.
Yeah.
And in between, there's a product that you use at night and massage into your hair, which kind of feels nice. I like that, the human touch,
Scalp
right?
massage.
Scalp massage is really, I think it really probably helps
Yeah, I think so
stimulate
too.
your skin. And so when you're doing the hair thing, that's also stimulating, right? You cleanse first and then you do this.
I exfoliate first and then I infuse the product into your scalp.
And that takes
And
about,
then I put the product on.
takes about an
right
hour,
after
right?
that. Yeah, it takes about an hour.
And your head's a little wet when you leave.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
But it dries out pretty quick. This is Florida.
Yeah.
Doesn't last long. So, and most people have thin hair. That's the sad
Right.
part. That's why they're here. So it does dry out pretty quick. I know because I'm one of them. So, but it's definitely helping me. There's no doubt about it. I'm about to do my third. I'm about to run out of my second product. All right, fabulous. So, Mary, you ready?
I'm ready.
So we're gonna. We have any questions, Sue? From
Actually,
anyone?
I do. Maria would like to know what the downtime is on the eyelid surgery.
Eyelid surgery. So eyelid surgery, blepharoplasty. There's upper and lower blepharoplasties. I might be able to do them in the office depending on the patient and problem. So that's something we have to determine with each patient. And it does save money if we do it in the office, which is nice. The surgery, the full surgery and the minimal surgery, because it depends on what your problem is. They'd still take about the same period of time, maybe a slightly longer for the other. In the office, it's about an hour and a half. The stitches come out about 3 to 5 days, and again, depending on what you do. The smaller procedure, some people just need a touch up. They've had a lift before. First time procedure, maybe a little more bruising and swelling, and that's really the downtime part. The first couple of days you have a lot of swelling until you take the stitches out. You use a lot of ice. You have to really be a good patient because the ice makes a huge difference with the swelling. So if you do that, stitches come out sometimes 3 days, 4 or 5 days, and you don't look too bad, honestly. You look pretty good. Probably can't put makeup on probably till you hit a week. So at about a week or so, depending on the person, you can pretty much go out in public. If you have some bruising, you can put some makeup on covering that.